On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about 360 VR video. And today's episode is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Want to start editing video? You need a video editor, and we've got one that's the perfect price of free. Just head on over to freevideoeditor.co, and you'll be able to download the Shotcut Video Editor, which has all the tools you'll need to make great videos starting today. So head on over to freevideoeditor.co.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.
It's the radio show about Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper on the Show podcast network. Facebook page is Video Marketing Madness. Twitter is Video MKT Madness. Plenty of useful tips. And Ray is so devoted to doing Video Marketing Madness that he's on his cell phone at Boy Scout camp high on a mountain somewhere in California.
That is correct. I don't even think I could tell you where in California I am. I'm not. But we are high atop a mountain, and I'm staring at all sorts of red pines and Douglas firs and all sorts of other fun stuff up here. So we are doing it from the mountain. So if the audio isn't quite what you're used to, well, we apologize. We got some good stuff we're going to talk about anyway.
Yeah, and you'll be able to understand, Ray. So, well, hey, this sounds fun. Why don't you let us know what about 360 video? And what was the other part of it?
VR, virtual reality.
Oh, 360 and VR. Yeah, I've heard of virtual reality. Okay, well,
kind of the same thing, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you know that. I over the last 2 months, there are two things that I think are totally going to dominate the video market. The first one we've talked about multiple times, which is live video, especially Facebook Live, which I think is going to dominate that market. And the second one is the advent of 360 VR video. Now, if you haven't experienced this yet, there's a few different ways that you can experience it. And really, there's two parts to this. There's the capture of 360 video, and then there's the use of 360 video. Now, if you want to kind of experience the way this works, all you have to do is get on your Chrome browser, and it has to be on Chrome, head on over to YouTube, and type in pound 360 video. And you're going to get a whole bunch of these these 360 videos that you can start to play with. And when you load one of these videos, you'll notice there'll be a little button in the corner that tells you that you can drag around. So as you're watching, so for instance, let's say that it's a video about, popular one for whatever reason is sharks, underwater with sharks. You start watching the video of the sharks, and unlike a normal video, you take your mouse, you grab the screen, you start dragging around, and you can see all the way around you, above, below, and you can kind of spin around and kind of see everything that's going on around you. So that's one way to experience 360 video. The other way is to get a 360 video VR headset. Now, you may have heard of Google Cardboard, and this is a headset that's literally made out of cardboard. They used to give it away for free. I think you can get it for like $5 now. And just head on over to Google and search cardboard, and you'll be able to find that. But you can also pick one up. Amazon has a whole bunch of different ones. You can get one at Best Buy. They're quite overpriced, I think, for what you're getting. I actually picked up a really nice one on Amazon for only about $15, and it's much nicer than the cardboard ones. So you can get one for a very, very good price. And what you do with those, you put that on your head, literally, as these giant goggles, and when you put your phone inside the goggles, you toggle a switch inside of YouTube, which turns that video that we just used the mouse to move around in to a special VR mode. And you'll be able to see in the YouTube video there'll be a little button in the bottom of the video player that kind of looks like the old Viewmaster, if you remember that when we were kids.
I do.
Click on that.
I do.
Yeah, you click on that, you're going to see that the video is going to turn into 2 separate videos on the screen. Put your phone into the VR glasses, close it up, stick it on your head, and now each eye is seeing a slightly different perspective of the video. And when you move your head around, it's like you're actually there in the room, or in this case, under the water with the sharks. Very, very cool, very immersive experience. And it can be quite shocking at first. The first time I tried it, I was absolutely blown away. Now, if you want to get started on this and kind of see what it is, head on down to your Best Buy store. And this is not meant to be a plug for Best Buy, but if you go to Best Buy, you go to the Samsung store inside of Best Buy, they actually have the VR glasses right in there by Samsung, and they've got a phone in there already. You can experience it right there. Very, very cool stuff. Have you tried these yet, Steve?
No, I haven't. I need to go down to the Best Buy.
It's extremely cool.
Since the wife and I
very, very cool experience.
Since the wife and I don't have a life, getting out for fun is going to the Best Buy. So this would be great.
Nice, yeah, me too. I like to get out there.
Yeah, I like the Best Buy. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it can be a lot of fun there.
I know. No, it is cool. I don't mean to, kind of, poo-poo them, but I found their prices to be a little expensive.
They can be, yes. And the variety is obviously a lot less than on a place like Amazon or AliExpress or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can at least test the things out, and very cool. Unfortunately, with the Samsung one, it's literally just for Samsung, only very specific Samsung phones, but it gives you the opportunity to at least experience it and understand what it is. And I'm telling you, it's incredible. When you get to play with this, you're going to be blown away by the way this works, because literally you can move around and see all the way around you in every direction. Now, the question is, why do we want to talk about this? What's the big deal with this? Obviously, you can probably imagine that one big aspect of this is going to be in the world of video games. And that doesn't necessarily affect us, but in the world of video games, this is going to be a huge part of the virtual reality, the 360 stuff. Being able to immerse yourself in that world. But in the world of video, they're estimating that this could be an $80 billion industry over the next couple of years. And the reason for that is, imagine, right now the Golden State Warriors basketball team, they actually shoot 360 video in their stadium right now. Not everybody gets access to it. It's kind of a test market sort of thing. But imagine being able to, maybe you can't afford to go to the game, or you can't afford to go to it every time, but you want to experience that. Well, now, with the 360 cameras being at these games, you can literally put on a headset and be there in the stadium. You can look around you and see the crowd. You can focus on a certain player. You can watch what's going on as if you're literally sitting right there. Usually they do it at the scorekeeper's table, so it'd be like like you're sitting right there at the scorekeeper's table. So it's absolutely incredible, and that's why this is going to be such a big industry, because imagine this for every baseball game, every football game, every basketball game, every hockey game, every soccer game. You're talking about the ability for a stadium that holds 15,000, 18,000 people to now sell twice as much every single game, certainly at a lower price because you're not physically there, but you'll be able to experience that, and they'll be able to make a lot more money out of that. So it's going to be a big industry. Imagine a wedding video. I mean, as much as I don't like wedding videos, the wedding video industry could benefit huge from this. Imagine you watching your wedding video, but instead of just sitting there watching the regular television and seeing what was going on, it's as if you're really there. You can look around, you can see Uncle Joe, you can see Grandma who passed away 2 years ago. So it's just an amazing opportunity in so many ways for people to start making money doing something that not a lot of people understand yet, but they certainly find to be very, very cool. So I'm excited about it. Steve, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, weddings. Gosh, I used to DJ weddings, so I feel your pain, man. But that's really cool. I mean, the Bears and the Huskers, I would pay for it. You know, the Bears, I already get Sunday ticket on DirecTV because we don't get all the games in Omaha. So yeah, I'd do that. You know, and
I think it's incredible. I'm waiting to see when it hits the kind of the mass market. I believe the one at the Golden State Warriors, there's a company and the name escapes me, that goes out and shoots these. But right now they've got a deal with Samsung that they're testing with, so you have to have a Samsung phone and Samsung glasses in order to experience it. But you know, it's just video, so eventually they'll open that up to everybody, I'm sure. And it's just going to be incredible. It's going to be absolutely amazing to be able to do that.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go down to Best Buy this weekend and check it out.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, well, have a little fun.
I wouldn't suggest picking up your glasses there. They've got these cardboardy ones that are like $40. That's definitely not worth the price.
Yeah. No, I can just check it out, you know, and because you know I've really gotten into the whole. You know, the HD TV connected to Roku, connected to my tablet, connected to YouTube, hooking up anything I can to it, and it's I can even from my TV set get on my big, you know, the computer in my office computer, you know, and get in there and do stuff. Yep. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
No, it's amazing the things that are coming out. But of course, with all of this, now we have to talk about how do we shoot this kind of video, because it's a very, very different experience. You're not just going to, you know, in the old days, you had a camera, it pointed in one direction, you saw that one spot that you were shooting, and that was pretty much it. Well, with 360 video, believe it or not, in some ways it's actually easier. And the reason I say it's easier is because, you know, you don't have to rely on a cameraman as much, because the camera's pointing in every direction. In fact, if the cameraman is there, you're going to be seeing him standing there with the camera. So it's actually a camera that you place where you want it, and you let it go. The camera that I picked up, I just, as a test unit, I picked up a camera that does 360 video, and there are a few different kinds. And the quality and, you know, there's a big gamut between the types of quality you can get out of them and the amount of information you can get. The camera that I picked up has one lens, which means that it gets 360 around, but it won't get 360 top to bottom. It'll only get about 220 degrees top to bottom. Some cameras actually have two lenses on them, and that way what happens is one shoots down, one shoots up, and it gets the 360 in every direction, and the software makes sure that it seams together perfectly. So literally, you can get a shot of everything in any direction you want and move around without even seeing the camera, because the lens shoots far enough around that the camera is just not even in there to be seen, but you can get the entire area. So it's a very, very cool system. And other companies are starting to build new things for it. For instance, there's a very strange one, which is interesting yet very weird, which is for the GoPro. And what it is a ball. And you buy this ball, and you have to have 6 GoPro cameras. And you stick the 6 GoPro cameras in this ball facing different directions. And the software will stitch all of those together from each of the GoPro cameras into one seamless 360 video. Now, of course, the problem with that is now you're talking about, you know, 6 $400, $300 cameras. So it's not exactly a budget-conscious way to do this, to say the least. Best Buy does have a camera that you can buy right now. It's called I believe it's called the 360 Fly or something similar. They've got it on display, so you can check it out. It's a one lens camera like the one I have. The only problem is it's about $400, and you can actually get some imported cameras for a lot cheaper, which is what I did. Because I didn't know, I was still learning 360, so I purchased a camera from China, and it only cost me about $100, which is kind of interesting. So,
yeah.
Now, there are professional cameras. Those go back into the kind of like the GoPro, where you've got 6 lenses, very high quality, very large, and they kind of sit on a cube, and each of those stitches together into a 360 video. But once you have all of this together, it just makes for an amazing experience afterwards. Only problem we have with this now is you've now got this 360 video, which is going to look very, very odd. It's going to be this strange, stretched out, weird video when you shoot this and then bring it to your computer. So you have to have software that's actually going to decode that information and make sure that you can edit it in a way that's viewable. And in fact, that's kind of the only weakness we have with this kind of footage right now, is when I shoot 360 video, which I've only shot a couple of times so far, in the camera itself, or more specifically in my iPhone, which is controlling the camera and it's a viewfinder, you can check out the 360 video, you can move around, even while it's shooting, you can do this and kind of, you can move your way around the image and everything. But the problem that we have is once we're done shooting this, there's very few softwares that actually will work with the 360 video right now. Now, you can certainly bring it into a normal video editor, and you can edit it there because, you're just cutting and pasting video. But you're looking at it in that distorted world view while you're doing the editing. And so it's a little odd to be able to do that. And then afterwards, once you create your video, there's not a lot of ways to view the video through software at this point. You can upload it to YouTube. But what I've discovered with YouTube is that they're kind of limited in the options that you have, because as strange as this sounds, when you do 360 video, you have a variety of different types of display that you can create out of this. And without diagrams and everything, it's very difficult to explain this, but there's different ways you can view a 360 video. There's one that kind of goes around like a band, so you're not looking up and down, you're just looking left and right. There's other ones that show you up and down and left and right. And when I tested it with YouTube, YouTube didn't translate the video properly, so I got this kind of weird, I could move around, but it was kind of this weird distorted video. So we're still trying to mess around and find the right softwares to go with that, because this is still at its infancy, but there are huge potentials for it. In fact, for those of you who are looking to do something unique with 360 video, one place that could really benefit from 360 video and your ability to shoot 360 video is in the world of real estate. Steve, do you remember a few years back when a lot of real estate agents were doing the quote-unquote virtual tours?
I sure
which
do.
Were those 360 stitched images?
Yep, I sure do. I remember those.
They were awful.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. They were awful. They didn't stitch together properly. You were looking at a wall that was perfectly straight, and it looked like it was round. All of this kind of weird things. Well, this 360 video, it kind of replaces that with either images or live video, but that weird distortion is gone. It does a really good job with software and everything else to give you a very realistic view. So if you wanted to do a 360 video of a house, it's very, very easy to do this now, because you've got this ability to do everything all around you. In fact, you could even do a video where somebody is moving through the house, and while you're moving through the house, you can be looking around as the camera's moving around, or you could just do one shot per room. So there's a lot of very cool things you could do with this. And if you've got the ability to do that now, provide these really cool 360 videos, that's a business into itself, and it's something that right now is still very untapped, but has a lot of big potential if we can get the software and everything to kind of work with us on that. So, Steve, what do you think of 360 video? I know you haven't experienced it yet, but how's this making you feel at this point in time?
It's making me feel good, as James Brown would say. I feel good. Well, you know, the thing that I'm really interested in is that real estate portion of it, because there's a market.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there's a market, okay, but
there is a huge market.
It's relatively easy to connect to. You know, I mean, there's going to be somebody at your church or in your Rotary or whatever. You know, maybe a group that you volunteer with. There's going to be a real estate agent there. I mean, they're
Yep.
all over the place, and it's an easy marketplace to connect to, and get busy with, because nobody else is doing it right now.
Nope. And like I said, the only thing you got to overcome is kind of the stigma of the old 360 virtual tour type images. But the real estate agents love those, so I don't even think it's a stigma necessarily, even though it probably should be.
Well, then,
but if you can provide something better,
yeah,
this is the opportunity.
Yeah, make a demo reel. Show it to them.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll sell itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we talk about this, you know, and people say, well, you know, what kind of a business could it be? I can tell you right now, and I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but back years and years ago, my job was to travel around the houses all over New England and take videos.
Mm-hmm.
And we literally had to go in there with a tripod, set up a camera in each room, do a pan of the room, go into the next one, pan the room the other way, zoom in on things. And even doing all of that, it would only take me about a half an hour to do an entire home. Now imagine that you got the 360 camera. You literally have to just put it in the middle of the room, let it run for a few seconds, and then go to the next room. So you could literally do an entire house in less than a half hour, and you're charging, you know, $200-300 for that house. That's a pretty good little deal that you got going on there if you can get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
So there you go. That's our 360, kind of a preview of 360 at this point, I think, because we still don't know enough of where it's going to give you too much information. But I think it is absolutely the next big thing in video, and watch out for it. If you're not into it, you should probably start looking into it right away. Be on the ground floor of this. Just like with Facebook Live, you got to get in there right away, get started, and you know, you can be one of the pioneers and start making some good cash out of this.
You heard it here first on the radio show about video.
Right.
Yeah.
You did. You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I know you're at Boy Scout camp, and I know that's why that's why you're on your cell phone. But do you have a Mindset Matters?
I certainly do.
Oh, I'm impressed.
And now, Mindset Matters.
Okay, so for this week's Mindset Matters, I want to go back into the world of podcasting, because we find a lot of tremendous information that is completely free, and you can just jump on in there and start listening right away. And the podcast I want to talk about today is the Tony Robbins podcast. This is a fairly new podcast that's only come out over the last month or so. And what's great about this is it is filled with all sorts of tremendous information. And it's not just Tony Robbins talking to you, but it's almost like a podcast TED Talks deal, because he will bring in guests who will basically guest host and talk to you about a subject. And there are subjects there from NLP to sales to financing to, and you name it, it's in there. And it is an incredible podcast. So you'll definitely want to check this out. Again, the simple name is the Tony Robbins Podcast. You can search it up on all of your favorite podcasting tools, such as iTunes, and start listening today.
Very cool. And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy on location somewhere high atop a mountain at Boy Scout Camp in California. I'm Steve Sleeper on the Show podcast network. Today's show made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Are you looking to start editing video? Well, then head on over to freevideoeditor.co. We've got a beautiful editor that you can download completely free. Start editing your 4K video, your 1080p video. Start adding graphics and doing animations and all sorts of other cool stuff, all with one free tool at freevideoeditor.co. All right, let's wrap it up with the jingle.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.